just have normal lights, cars. Oh wait, shit. I can't even have the air conditioning on
Yeah, because it's too
because
loud, or
my window fogs up.
oh yeah. I didn't even consider
So,
because of the humidity outside and the temperature
yeah,
change and everything. Yeah.
that was the other thing was that going down the highway, I'm like, I cannot see a goddamn thing. The wipers are doing their best. They're actually kind of working pretty well, but like it didn't matter. And then when it cleared up, I was like, oh shit, my entire windshield is completely fogged over. I can't see. That's why I can't see. I couldn't even tell. So I can't tell that the window's fogged over because the rain is
Yeah.
just pouring. Anyway, I know it's 7 o'clock, I guess.
It is. We're on. We're already on. We're
Sweet.
live. Yeah. Welcome to Super
Sweet.
Serial Showtime, everyone. As always, I'm your host, Metal, and joining me is my co-host, Marsupial Gamer. We're here to talk about movies, shows, comic novels, whatever's on our mind in the world of serials and adjacent. So grab all your friends, grab all your enemies, bring them in, and we'll have a good time.
Just don't grab anyone who's neutral. I hate those neutrals.
Yeah, those darn neutrals. They disgust me. They can't make
tell
up
my
their
wife
mind.
I said, yeah. Tell my wife I said hello.
Oh, this is one of my favorite Futurama episodes.
Yeah, damn neutrals. I don't trust them.
I have no strong views one way or the other.
That's right. Yes, but friends and enemies are great.
At least you know where they stand.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Zap. Zap's such a moron. Oh,
Yeah.
he
is.
Stop.
But you know what? Zap Brannigan being a moron is why we all like him.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
Lila.
Anyway, I'm driving home, but it's raining like you would not believe. Well, it's not now. It cleared up, but it's taken me an hour and a half to go, Well, usually it takes, I was coming from Peaches, so it's usually longer, but I guess it's taking me I don't know how long it's been. But the rain's been insane.
Yeah.
The rain in the plane is seriously insane.
Go really old school Sesame Street and give a weather report in the voice of Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I would, but for some reason, the rain has severely aggravated my throat. I got a frog in my throat, I think.
Oh, yeah. But it's not Kermit.
No.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Forget.
It's
that's what he used to be. He used to be like a journalist reporter on the scene in Sesame Street.
Yeah, I'll try to keep it to a minimum, but I'm coughing a little. It's weird because obviously I even looked at the weather map and it's pollen count 0 because all out of the air. Man. For some reason I've been coughing all day. Well, because of the rain.
Maybe it was
you
think you'd get it out of your system now, but maybe it's all the time that you spent over at Peach's place.
Maybe. I haven't spent as much as I have in the past.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. You have the wipers on delay, but the delay thing is maybe it has sensors because it was not going for 5 minutes and then it just suddenly started again. So strange.
Anyhow, we have things to talk about. The first thing I want to talk about is the random encounter that we had a couple nights ago. But since then, I've also seen that tons of people have had this random encounter. It seems to be something that's been being flushed out nationwide to their stores. But finally, comics are in the place where they should be sold. At least under one property. DC Comics is now stocking Circle K convenience stores, gas stations, with backlogs of their comic. They're not the most recent, but they're not super old either. Some of them are only maybe a couple years old or so. When we saw that one, I told you that Dawn of DC Superman which I think was a 2023 comic, maybe.
Hmm.
But I told you it was actually a pretty good modern Superman comic. I haven't seen one of those in a long time, and I've read it before, so you picked it up. But even looking at everything else that was on the list, it was all stuff within like the last couple years. Maybe it was a 2024, but it's
Why
not.
are
It's
they
not
talking?
this Wonder one.
Why are they talking new comics? I actually didn't even. I did obviously. It's obvious because you said you read them a couple years
Yeah,
ago,
yeah.
but I didn't realize when I saw them that they were a couple years old. Why don't they talk new ones? Is it just no
Well, it's
good
probably a
new
way for
ones?
them to get rid of the unsold comics that they've had before. You know, like,
Yeah, yeah, they're in
which is
like
weird.
cheap plastic bags.
It's weird how much they're charging for old comics. What was it, like
Yeah,
$4?
yeah, but I hear they're more than that for new ones. I mean,
Maybe. I think
yeah,
it depends on the line or whatever. I know Marvel sold
well,
some for like 5, almost $6. Um,
yeah. This was $3.99, I guess,
yeah, or I think it was like 3.89.
something like that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it was the artist? Was it Jamal Campbell?
I think so. Yeah.
This one, yeah. They're like, oh, J. Scott Campbell. No,
No, it was a different Jay Campbell.
yeah, yeah. It's like, what the hell? Wait a minute. This is, what is it? Poor man's J. Scott Campbell.
I guess it's a story written by Joshua Williamson, who's one of the few people working at DC right now that I tend to enjoy his stories in general, and
Mhm.
he's been writing a lot of Superman, so that's kind of cool. He actually, I think, was it the same day? It was very recently on his Twitter. He dropped that he'll be working on a Legion of Superheroes run. He didn't
Oh,
say too much about what it was, just that he's going to continue writing Superman. And when he dropped 2 pictures, one of them was the Legion of Superheroes like symbol, and some of the characters in the other picture were characters that you would see in the Legion of Superheroes. I have never been a big fan of the Legion of Superheroes, but that's more of like I just don't jive with the premise. I think all the characters in it are fine. So it's like it never made sense to me to be in Superman's timeline with all the time travel shenanigans and stuff, because it just doesn't
yeah.
work with his later character development. You know, there's things that he would have developed way earlier than he did with that timeline. It bothers me. But most people just find it fun. They like the characters. And Legion of Superheroes is a beloved old school. It's actually what's his name? Shooter. It was like one of Shooter's first comics back when he was like a teenager. He was working on Legion of Superheroes. So I mean,
Oh, Jim Shooter?
there's like a big history behind that.
Mm.
Is when he was like new at DC. I think he was a teenager, like 14, when he was working on that.
Oh, wow.
Because you could do that back then. There's no way that would happen now, right?
Not unless you're a diverse
Yeah.
pretend female. By the way,
Yeah.
not for nothing, but I just remembered that I couldn't get the garage door open, the garage door to go down this morning. I
Really?
disconnected it. Yeah, I had to disconnect it to bring it down. So I don't know. I'll fix that, but I'll still be on, hopefully.
Okay. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I was like, wait, the door's not going to come up.
It's a good thing I didn't try to use it for any reason.
Use what?
The door.
Well, I mean, I tried the remote, but it didn't work.
No, it's a good thing I didn't try to use it for any reason. Like during today. Because I didn't know it was disconnected. But yeah, so yeah, in Circle K, they now have a stand. It's right exactly where you expect a comic should be, but it's almost where the spinner rack used to be, right? And there's like this little blue cardboard stand, almost triangular, with I think it had 8 shelf slots on it, or technically it's 4 shelves, but like side by side, so there's like 8 spots. Maybe it was 6. It's either 6 or 8, but it had a bunch of just random stuff from the last few years. Number one's starter stuff to try to get people interested. But that is where your comics should be. Because comics are pretty much an impulse buy. if most random people want to read a comic, a lot of them don't even care about the run itself, right? Like a lot of comic readers just want some snappy little self-contained story. Maybe it's part of a bigger story, but the plot you're reading begins and ends in that book, and you could just buy it while you're out on a road trip with people or whatever, vacation, maybe on the way to work, because you'll want something to read during your lunch break. Who knows? But comics are historically an impulse buy, and nobody is walking into a comic book store for impulse buys, right? Like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna wander into the comic book store today. Oh, there you are. Yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna wander into the comic book store and say and see if something jumps out to me. That's not really what happens, right? So you'd get a lot more sales if they were just in the places that people want to buy it. Archie's Digest was one of them, and also the Archie Sonics, just Archie stuff in general, lasted for so long because they were right there at the checkout aisle where people could pick them up. And that's where you have your impulse buy. So this was right across from the checkout, right next to the aisle there at the end. Very easy to see and find things. So, you know, I sent pictures of it to my family. I was like, there's strange things afoot at the Circle K. Because who would have expected there to just be comics in gas stations again? It shouldn't be a surprise. It should be the obvious thing, but that's where we are. Oi. He's still messing around with the garage door. Trying to think of some of the other ones that I saw there. Actually, you know what? I can see.
Oh, I was
everything.
muted.
You were muted, yes.
Sorry about that.
I can actually see what was there.
What do you mean?
Oh, because I took a picture, right? So I can actually see what the other comics were, other than the one that you purchased.
I was gonna say, like, I have never had a problem finding a comic book store. Like, there's one right like a block from my office.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, there are several still in Nashville and Birmingham. Oh, okay,
It's not that bad.
So, yeah, I mean, there's a couple, there's several. Actually, there might even be like 4 or 5 around Phoenix.
Yeah, but you know what? We're also in a major metropolitan area. There's a lot of people who struggle to find comic book stores because of where they live. Some people have to drive an hour or two to their nearest comic book store.
Yes. Yes. I've been in the one right by my office and bought some Darkwing Duck comics.
Oh, nice.
And, they had full selection. It was just all around the store.
Like, I doubt there's one here in Santan.
Yeah, no, I doubt it.
Yeah, there wasn't one in the town I grew up in. I had to go a town over to the nearest comic book store. It was right next to the magic shop.
Like magic as in illusions or Magic the Gathering?
No, because if Magic the Gathering probably would have been sold at the comic book store.
Yeah, I was like, wait, there's a whole store for Magic?
No, I'm talking about like a magician magic shop.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so there was a magic shop in that town. Yeah, and you know what? It almost outlasted the comic book store because the comic book store was going to go out under at one point, and then they just became a generalized book and hobby store like most places did, and then the magic store went out of business. So somehow they outlived the magic store.
Well, I'm kind of bummed out. There's no magic store around here. I don't think I've seen one of those in decades.
Yeah, it used to be a more popular hobby for young kids.
Illusion.
Yeah. Flit says, forget food deserts. Comic book deserts are the real tragedy, and they're only getting wider. Because in some towns that used to have, or like some bigger metropolitan areas that would have had anywhere between 5 to 20, right? Like a huge range, but like up to 20 comic book stores in the whole metropolitan area, they might be down to just the 5 end now.
Yeah.
Where you have to go all across to get to the different ones.
Ironically, here in the desert, there's half a dozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Biz has to take a train to get to the comic book store and come back home at night. So, even if it's just DC, having comics in a gas station is a huge upgrade to these hobby stores. The LCS, the dedicated comic store, while it had allowed the hobby to expand initially, is also the death of comic sales because most people aren't going to go to a dedicated comic store. You've got more people going there to get the other hobby shop stuff. Trading cards, tabletop game stuff than you have for comics. And it's actually not even that new of a thing. It's been like that for a couple decades now. They most of them grew their business by adding more things into the stores. Yeah, they might go to a dedicated bookstore. But that's the other thing too, right? Is you're more likely to walk into an overall bookstore that has many different things and look around than you are to probably go to a comic store, right? If you want to talk about which of these two places an impulse buy is more likely to happen. Like, I used to walk around Barnes & Noble with my friends, or even the half-price books in my town, all the time. Just, it's hot. We would just go in to look around. It's like, well, we like books. We might find something we want, but it's just like window shopping. Maybe if we had a comic book store, that might be something we did because we were that crowd, but I couldn't imagine most other people would have.
Yeah. Because nowadays, like, the manga section is enormous.
Oh, yeah.
It's great, but yeah. But sometimes they'll have like puzzles and stuff. I like bookstores. They're fun.
Flit's got the point too. The gas station grocery store should be where people get hooked, and then you go to a comic book store to get serious about the hobby. And that's where like all your side stuff should be. And I think this is where DC and Marvel are really dropping the ball. They have titles that would be great for magazines, right? Like if Action Comics was a mag, if Detective Comics was a mag, if the old school Marvel Comics was a mag or something, right? Or Astonishing Tales. If those things were a thicker magazine that came out maybe once a month or whatever, you sold for premium, I don't know, $10. I don't know how much you'd have to sell, $15 to make up whatever you're doing. But you sold a thicker magazine that got people started on stuff, and then you could have all your side stuff at the comic book store. You'd probably be able to drive people there more likely because they're already invested.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess this is, in that vein, this is a good idea.
Yeah.
For DC to put some of their older, cheaper, bargain bin books around.
Yeah, because most of these are number ones.
Yeah. And it's like, hey, remember Superman? He's still around.
Yeah, so we've got the things that were on that shelf visible, but that's only the top, right? Because they were all different things going back. So it was almost like a like a gotcha, sort of. Except you could flip through it and pick the one you want, but if you're the last one to the bin, you don't know what's left. So we've got Superman, Lois and Clark, Absolute Power, Year One Teen Titans, which I'm not a fan of it, Superman for Tomorrow.
Beast Boy. I think I was looking at Beast Boy. He's not blue anymore. I feel like he wasn't blue on that cover, unless it was another different character.
Beast Boy isn't on that cover.
Oh, okay. There's some character that looked
maybe he is. I can't tell. He might be the person who's getting cut off at the very bottom.
Oh no, there's a character in the middle. Are you showing it?
In the very no, I'm just looking at it because I have a picture that I took. You could find the picture of it on my Twitter. I did post it on Twitter, but no, this is just my private
Yeah.
stored photo that I'm looking at.
Okay.
There, Robin, which I believe it might be Damian Robin. I don't remember, but Robin's like dead center on the cover.
Okay. I'll have to take a look.
And then Kid
Apparently,
Flash was on the cover too. I guess it was Impulse.
Do you know what? I doubt you do, but someone on Discord informed me that I made the Greer thread. Do you know what the Greer thread is?
No, I have absolutely no clue.
Oh well, never mind.
Yeah. We also had Batman Adventures #1, which that one, if I recall, that was kind of the Timverse stuff, the Bruce Timm. Like it was following the old Batman animated TV series. At least the designs look like it was. And I think it was supposed to be in that vein. I have not read it, so I don't know if it's good. But if they kept to it, I really liked Batman the animated series. I don't remember what this one is because I think it's I recognize the back cover. Somebody flipped it back in, so I can't see the front cover, but I think it's a Justice League book. There's also Wonder Woman, A New Era Begins. I do not recommend picking that one up at all. And we have a Crypto the Super Dog. But, you know, some of the stuff on here was actually pretty good. As far as modern comics go. Yeah. Buck says if it's less than 10 years old, it's Damian, yeah. He's just not wearing his hair like Damian. That's why it confused me.
Did you post this on your account?
Yeah, on my personal. It should be there.
I'm really curious because I just glanced at it and I was like, oh, what did they do to Beast Boy? And then now you're telling me he wasn't even on the cover. Like, yeah. Oh, I like this post you retweeted. Someone says, people are allowed to dislike things. And he says, wrong. No one is allowed to dislike Akane.
That is true. No one is allowed to dislike Akane. Split says the Greer thread on the farms. I guess it's a Kiwi Farms thread.
Oh, here it is. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, I know why.
Okay.
Because, you know why? It's because, what's her name? Taylor Swift said, is she getting married or something like that?
Yeah, she's getting married.
And she basically said, everyone I know or everyone I've ever talked to is invited. And I was like,
oh, yeah.
Did Russell Greer ever speak to her?
Okay.
Maybe only in his head. Funny.
I think I remember that post too that you made. I didn't really understand the context of the post, but I remember seeing it. But yeah, I just really like that that's a thing now. I think it's great. We need to get it more than Circle K. There's some other big chains across the nation you can make deals with DC. Racetrack, Quick Trip. I'm trying to think of some other stuff. Maybe over on the other coast, you can get it into like the Wawas. But there's definitely some other places you could get it in. Get back in the gas station. And then, if you can, get back in the grocery store. Technically, they are already selling old stuff in Walmart. If you go over to the trading card section at the front where they have all like the different trading card packs, there is a box that has, I think, 3 packs of DC Comics from like the last decade. And a lot of people don't even know that's there. The problem is you can only see what's on the front. So you know that they're probably thematically all going to be there. If you see a Superman on the front, there's probably going to be some other super family stuff. Maybe it's an Action Comics, maybe a Supergirl or something. But you don't know what the other 2 are in the 3 packs. Which is how they get rid of their trash, right? Like they show you a decent one on the front and then be like, here you go.
I actually half expected there to be at least a second one in that little plastic bag, but
Yeah.
someone, okay, somehow I pressed a button, and there you go. Apparently F11 causes Discord to be full screen, and I couldn't get to anything else.
F11 causes most things to be full screen.
Yeah.
And the easiest way to undo it is by hitting F11 again.
Yep, figured it out.
It was the other old school way of
need-
like forcing something to full screen.
Control F or something like that, or
Alt Enter. You could force almost anything to full screen in older Windows. I think it might be true about some things now. If you just hit Alt and Enter at the same time, I think they mostly took that away because it's a key bind in a lot of stuff. Like I think Alt Enter will give you a page break in a lot of things, but you can manually, when you're in a program, disable certain macros or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how like video games. You just use Alt Enter to force certain games to be full screen on Windows 98 and XP and stuff.
So, okay, I'm looking at your picture, and the Teen Titans one, it's Teen Titans Year 1.
Yeah.
I see Robin, I see someone who looks like Wonder Woman, but it's a little girl. Who's that?
Oh, yeah, that'd be Wonder Girl.
Okay, Wonder Girl. I see Kid Flash, and then who's the kid with the black hair that's kind of obscured on the bottom?
That was the one I wasn't sure. That could be Beast Boy.
Okay.
I didn't know who you were talking about. I can't see him, so that could be.
Yeah.
They did make him red for a while for some reason. I don't know why, but
yeah.
I'd have to look at the full thing.
Sorry, I was gonna say I think because I just really just like glanced at it, split second, I saw Kid Flash's hair and I thought he was Beast Boy. Like his hair is crazy.
I can
it's
just
just
pull
like-
up the whole cover. No, that's Aqualad. That is Aqualad. Now I'm looking at the full thing.
Oh.
Yeah, you can see like his
Wait,
scales.
but he's
I couldn't
got
tell. It almost looked like fur at first. Those are his scales. Because Aqualad has always had red top.
Oh, but wait, doesn't he have a bolt of lightning on his chest? So it looks like. No.
Well, no. I'm looking at the cover in high resolution. You might just be seeing a reflection from the plastic or something, but that's Aqualad. When I'm looking at the full cover, that's Aqualad.
No, wait. The kid to the right of
In the red on the
to
ground.
the right of Robin.
Oh no, that's Kid Flash.
Okay, no. I was talking about
or Impulse or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So we have Wonder Girl, Robin, Impulse, and the guy at the bottom that's obscured is Aqualad.
Okay, no. I was looking at Impulse. For some, I guess he's got the pointy ears. Is he like an elf or something? I don't even know who this character is. And he's got pointy ears and shoot, no, I lost it. And his hair's all crazy and just kind of slicked back, I guess. I'm like, is that Beast Boy? Like, what do they do to him? But
Buck even said too,
like
that I was tabbed away. He says it looks like the original Teen Titans. It would be Garth Aqualad. Yeah, because Aqualad was in the original Teen Titans lineup before the new Teen Titans.
Okay. Well, no, that was the one I thought was Beast Boy, just because I got like a split second picture of him is actually Kid Flash or whatever.
Yeah.
He looks like he looks like Beast Boy in in Kid Flash clothes, except he's not blue.
I think it's also because that artist has a big problem of same face, right? Where he just draws a lot of people with very similar faces. Yeah. Flit says he missed the beginning. Is DC bringing the spinner rack back to gas stations and grocery stores? Yes, kind of. But instead of the spinner rack having like the newest stuff, it's actually more of just a big cardboard display, like a triangle that they have, triangular prism, and it's got 8 slots for semi-recent comics.
Should I try to share my screen?
I don't know. You can if you want.
I'll try.
It's better than nothing.
I can
It's
zoom
a
in
huge
and
step forward for DC.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah. That came right up.
Yeah.
That's cool. How do you wait? How do you? Hold on. What are the key bindings for Zoom?
Control plus or minus.
Oh, okay. Such a boomer. There we go. Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, so we've got Superman. Go ahead.
Oh, I already said the names of everything, but you can show them back off if you want.
Oh, well, now you can see them. Of course, the plastic is a little bit.
They can see the display now.
Yeah, but they it doesn't look like it has the one that I actually bought.
No, I took this after you grabbed it, because you bought Dawn of DC Superman.
Like, what is with this kid? Now,
That's
the
Kid
artist,
Flash,
I think I think they did a pretty good job. Is Wonder Girl supposed to be Asian or not?
I don't remember. Most of them, they used to all just be Themysciran, but I have lost track of which ones. And they've changed some characters from the way that they used to be.
Yeah, I mean, she does have a bit of a different face.
Yeah.
I think you did a good job with her, but the other two are weird. That's a weird look for Robin. He kind of looks. Who does he look like? Oh, he reminds me of somebody. Kind of looks emo there, like with that hair.
Yeah,
Weird.
a little.
And then
Batman Adventures.
Hey, it's a. I don't think she's particularly hot in this, but at least she's cute. Poison Ivy.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Not
they're
like ugly.
the Timverse designs, so.
Yeah, it's definitely not the ugly, angry lesbian version we got now. And then what is this? Discover a Universe?
Oh, it's backwards. That's actually the back cover of that one, so we don't
Yeah.
know what book that is.
Oh, okay.
Somebody took it off the shelf.
And
You
then
can
we
tell
got-
too by the way the plastic's wrapped, where it's pinching in the middle and the back.
Yeah.
Somebody took it off the shelf
Oh.
and then put it back on facing the wrong way.
Weird. Maybe they just wanted you to see the back.
No, I think if somebody
Yeah,
picked it up and they weren't
that's-
interested in it, and they carelessly just put it backwards.
Oh, that's cute. They have Crypto there, who talks, by the way.
Yep.
And is not at all, what is it? Poorly trained or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They really need to get Hassan Piker to, train up
No,
Crypto.
no,
I
they
think.
don't. Joshua says
Couple-
it's just
yeah,
the art
couple-
style. That's why she looks kind of sort of Asian. I mean, she's supposed to be like Greek, so.
Oh wait, that one. Yeah, I can see that, but her eyes are definitely Asian.
It's probably just the way they drew it. She's like squinting.
Well, the art's really good, I think. Except the faces of Robin and Beast Boy Flash there.
There's a problem where a lot of people
I can't really see that.
don't know how to draw children. This is
Yeah,
a big problem in mostly Western comics, I would say.
Oh, I know exactly who he looks like.
Mm.
He looks like freaking Spider-Man from Spider-Man 3. Like,
I don't see
what's
it.
his name?
Tobey
The
Maguire.
emo, the hair, Tobey Maguire. Yeah, that's who he reminds me of. Like, he doesn't look exactly like it. It's just
Yeah. Buck saying,
reminiscent
and
of that.
Josh was agreeing with him that, which I figured this out right away, but I didn't feel like it needed to be said, that the Crypto the Super Dog is based off of the cartoon that was made. You could see the other super animals, they're drawn in the same style. I think Sparky and Bat Dog were in the image too.
Yeah, and who's the kid?
I don't remember. I saw like 2 episodes of the cartoon tops, but
I didn't even. Not aware of the cartoon. Well, anyway,
it's fairly recent. It was only a few years back, I guess.
Yeah,
But yep.
What the hell?
To me, that was the coolest thing that happened within the last week. For a lot of people, it's not that cool, but it really got me going.
I think it's pretty cool. I didn't see your tweet. I'll retweet it so somebody will see it.
Apparently, somebody already saw it. A singular one person.
Yeah, I can't see. Well, 2 people have liked it, so maybe someone in our current audience.
They put Wonder Woman on the bottom shelf next to the dog. What do they mean by this? Flit says. Well, especially that run of Wonder Woman. Honestly, the dog should be higher. You know what? Let's put Crypto, because it's based off of a beloved cartoon adaptation. Let's switch that in Absolute Power's place. We could put Absolute Power at the bottom. Crypto can be moved up to the top. And we could put the Batman to the top, too. The Batman Adventures ones.
Yeah. What the? you keep retweeting these free run.
Oh, the free run PR stuff. Well, we actually have news on free run.
Yeah.
Unfortunate news. For people who read the manga, which is like no one in our audience, but for people who read the manga.
Oh, I do. I have the first 3.
Mm-hmm. Okay, for people who are keeping up with the manga, which is no one in our audience, Frieren is going on an indefinite break. It's going on hiatus before season 2 even comes out, and it's mostly because of the author's health. The author is not in very good health. Not surprising because of how the manga industry functions, a lot of them. So you don't even have to force them to either, right? Because I've heard in general, Weekly Shonen Sunday is one of the better ones at letting their like artists take breaks and stuff for their health and everything. But it's Japanese culture and it's the industry. People work themselves to death. And I don't remember exactly what is going on with the health of... It was both, I think, the health of Yamada, the author, and Abe, the illustrator. They're both mentioned in it. Maybe they got together and they contracted COVID or something. I don't know. But they're both not feeling well and it needs to go on a long-term break. So I doubt it's actually COVID. They're probably just overworking themselves, which led them susceptible to having health problems. That's what happens to most people.
Yeah. Or maybe they just have health.
It could be.
It's a woman, right?
Well, both of them, right? Which is Kanehito, which I believe is a woman. Yamada is the author, and then there's Tsukasa Abe is the illustrator.
Yeah.
But yep. So after season 2's ends, you probably expect another long break before an adaptation for like season 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's just becoming more and more common.
But how far along is the manga?
The manga is further than where season 2 is going to be, but it might not be far enough for a full season 3.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah. Right,
Well, I'm just glad we're getting a season 2.
There's 140 chapters currently in 14 volumes.
Oh. Chapters.
Yes,
14?
chapters in 14 volumes. Yeah.
Well, the first season was like the first 4 volumes, I think, maybe 5. How long did the first class mage exam go in the manga? I feel like that would have only been 1 volume.
I don't even remember.
So,
but even like the studio saying that season 3, however, could just be delayed because of the constant hiatuses. They don't want to run up on the tail of the story, and that's something that a lot of studios are hesitant to do now. They just want to like stop when they get to a good stopping point and wait until there's more to adapt and stuff.
Yeah. I could see that, because otherwise it's like you could do 3 seasons, one right after the other, and then wait for 5 years. Or you could do 2 wait for a couple years,
Space
2
it
more,
out,
wait
yeah.
for a couple years.
But next season will be out on January 16th. So it's not that far away, even though it feels like a long time.
I was telling someone on some random internet stranger on X that that is probably my favorite manga at this point. Just a little bit ahead of Danmachi.
Yeah.
It is not mid, Flit. You have to watch it again.
Nah, he's good. I don't think it's mid, but I don't think it's
I'll tell
a
you,
masterpiece either. I think it's above average.
is it a master? I'm not an anime expert,
Yeah.
but as far as a television show is concerned, I might consider it a masterpiece. And because I mean, yeah,
I think it's
I've
potential.
admittedly watched it.
It
Yeah,
depends where it goes.
I've watched it many times. Yeah, and I've watched YouTube analyses. Now I'm probably being I don't know what you call it, taken in a little bit by what some call the documentary effect.
Oh yeah,
In that if you watch one side of of a debate long enough, you just convinced that they're right.
Yeah.
No matter what it is. And I've just watched a lot of videos on various aspects, like sometimes individual episodes, sometimes particular tropes, about why it's amazing. And so I'm probably a little bit I'm a lot biased.
Yeah, and I think
There's
Flit's complaints are kind of the same as mine too. It's like I'm really, really interested in what happened in the past, like during their original escapade, and we are slowly getting hints at it, but that's all we ever get are bits and pieces of it.
I think that's intentional.
Oh, I know it's intentional. It's just for some people upsetting.
The thing is, obviously, it's a show about losing time or wasting time, not spending what time you have wise. Even when you're immortal, even when she's immortal, she had a limited amount of time with those people, and now it's all in the past. All she has are memories, and so I think that's why they're drip feeding it in the form of very brief memories. Because if
I think
your own
we
past,
all get that. I don't think anybody has that up to question. That's like the main premise of the show. I think it's just like, have you ever heard the effect of where, and this is going to all come down to personal opinion on what somebody thinks is better or not in this regard, but where you're watching something and they're kind of like dangling a better show in front of you, but that's not the thing. You're like, I want to watch that, but you're not showing me that. It's like with My Hero Academia, the whole time I'm like reading it, and they're like talking about things that All Might did. And it's like, I'd rather be reading that, actually. That's way more interesting. But instead, I'm stuck here with like Deku. It's like, that's kind of, not to the same degree, but that's kind of how I feel with Frieren. It's like the things that happened in the past are just far more interesting to me than what's currently going on. And it's not that what's currently going on is bad or anything. It's just you're constantly dangling it in front of me. It's like, could we just take some time and maybe have a full episode that shows us something from back then, like a dungeon run or something?
I mean, I get that everyone gets what they're doing and why they're doing it, but it's just it's just intentionally trying to get you into her mindset where it's like, oh shit, I'd love to immerse myself back in the past, but you don't have that anymore. You just have these tiny little snippets of memories and like, oh, this reminds me of that. This reminds me of that. It's very, I mean, I know that you know this, but it's very purposeful. I agree. There are shows
like
where it's like,
Flint
oh,
says too,
wait,
right?
I want to see that. But,
It could be purposeful and still not be great at executing it, which I don't think it's
So
really
good
bad
at
at executing it.
good.
I think if there's anything that's mid in this story, it's executing that part.
The thing is, and you know me, I have a hard time sitting there and staring at a show.
Yeah.
Like I'll have, a game on my phone and, something, maybe a laptop open and maybe eating something. But like, you almost, I found with this one, like they will show a single frame of something and you only just get this impression of it. And I'm like, oh my God, that's what she's thinking about right now. Like it's just so. I don't know.
That's executing something that's happening in the
never
manga.
seen
Because in the
anything.
manga, you could just look at the panel where she's thinking for as long as you want. You don't have to pause it or anything.
Oh man, I wouldn't.
That would
mind
be fun to
flick 'cause
watch. I'll stay out of it too and just moderate if you want. Like you guys can hash out your opinions, especially because I'm a little more neutral on this. Like I don't dislike Frieren at all. I do enjoy watching the show, but we'd have to schedule that. Not today.
Yeah. I've even watched, and granted, I'm just kind of trusting some random guy on YouTube, but like I've watched videos on the cinematography of it, and probably my least favorite episode, the Old Man Full one, where they just meet up with this really, really old guy, and it turns out that he's completely senile. It's like I've watched a video on like practically going through every frame of that episode and why it's amazing. It's like, and the way they handle the OP trope, like, it's there's only a couple ways that you can do it, and most of them are bad, and just the way that they handle basically her being undefeatable, I think in a couple different ways has been pretty unique. So I don't know. We'll have to
Yeah, well, I mean,
think seriously about debating this.
he wants to go back and rewatch it, which is fair too. Like, if you're gonna have an actual debate on something, you want to be refreshed with all the material you're gonna be talking about.
Yeah, I'm not saying you have to have a very high IQ to understand free range.
Well, I mean, obviously,
I'm
he's
saying-
the Rick and Morty meme.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I think anyone can understand it. You might need a few years on you. You might need to be older. Maybe that's it. I'll admit,
Oddly enough,
Spy
I think I
Family
probably
spoke
would
to
have
me
liked
because
this.
I have a family.
I think I would have liked Frieren more when I was younger.
Yeah, I don't know that I would have appreciated it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to debate you unless you watch the whole thing again.
Yeah.
I probably didn't appreciate it the first time I watched it. Not entirely. I every time I've watched it, I've seen something new. I was like, oh, I missed that part. Oh my gosh, that completely changes this episode. Anyway, it is my favorite, and I've studied it frame by frame.
We have to go and
I'll tell
study
you one
panel
thing
by
that you-
panel too.
Yeah, well, I have
started.
the first 3 books. Yeah, I'm halfway through the first book. No, I've finished the first book. I'm halfway through the second. I'll tell you one thing that would not take long if you studied it frame by frame would be the new episode of One Punch Man.
No, I
There
mean,
aren't very many
there's
frames.
very few frames at all. I still enjoyed it, but like, it does not set a very good precedent for the rest of the season. Now, everybody was complaining, where's the action? It was basically a slideshow. But if you also read the manga,
Do it.
oh yeah, because it's like, I know I will win the debate because I have the power of hate on my side.
Yes.
But if you read that portion of the manga, like what they were adapting, there is no action in that portion of the manga. So it's either they have to like crunch their comeback to be able to get to action faster, which maybe you can make some fair arguments that they should, right? Or another thing they could do is they could have went with the Studio Madhouse route, where they take something that's mundane and they make it more action because they're an animation studio and that's literally their job, is to make mundane things more fantastic. Well, there's a very fair argument for that too. But that like chapter or so that they were doing is mostly just people talking for that entire section anyway.
Yeah.
So complaints are all fair. Because most of the scenes, there was a lot of scenes where it was literally like a person or two there and maybe one thing in the whole frame is moving, right? Talking, maybe somebody's like a GIF bouncing up and down while they're talking in front of something else, like layers or whatever. But that was most of the episode at a certain point.
Yeah, there were scenes, not like the whole scene, but there were periods of time where it was just a still image and the camera was just like moving up as they were talking without their mouth moving.
Yeah, very old school animation
that's...
cheating methods. Like we've been doing that forever, especially in anime.
Yeah.
You have to appreciate that is old school. It doesn't look as good, I think, with how crisp and digital the scenes are now. I think it looked better on like the old cells put onto a CRT. It just doesn't have the same appeal.
Yeah, because the CRT gives it movement. You know, it's flickering. Doesn't happen here. What's funny is like when it started, and frankly, the first half was, I didn't notice it at first, but like you and I were talking about this, like, what's the big, so many people are complaining about season 3 before it even started. And it's like, how about you just watch it? I mean, if you like the show. If you don't like the show or you don't want to, that's fine. But
now, I don't blame JC staff for this, though. Right. And here's the main reason. One, I've seen them do other things before. They've got a long repertoire, right?
Even the previous staff did Danmachi.
Yeah. They have very, very long repertoire things. And John Machi has great animation at times. There's some times where it's not, but a lot of the time it's great, especially during the battle scenes.
Yeah, amazing. I coincidentally just rewatched the fight between Bell and the Minotaur, and I'm like, oh my god, like it's like astounding, really good.
But it's the budget. The budget is the problem, and I'm sure it is the licensee of One Punch Man that drove the budget down, because this budget has an even lower value than the previous one by like 100,000 USD difference. Like they're dropping it down even more from what we could tell. We don't actually know if that's the budget, but
I thought it just dropped from like 100,000 an episode to like 80,000. Isn't that what you were reading or something? Maybe.
Was it? I thought it was.
$180,000.
I'm trying to remember how much it was. It might have been 80,000 episode. It might have only dropped down 20. Yeah. Because I'm thinking bigger. Madhouse's stuff, it was like almost $1 million an episode, but this is like an order of magnitude lower. So it was probably from 100 to 80. We don't actually know the budget though. This is just an estimation. We only know the budget of the previous season, but they have said it was less in this one. So people are guessing.
Yeah. I remember when you were reading that thing, I was like, wait. Season 2 was 1/10 the budget. Season 1. That's what I remember thinking. And then, this one's even just a little bit lower. Like, what does it say? They just put interns on it, or just they just got to spit it out as quickly as they can?
It's more of like money. Time. I think is more of what goes to it. It's like how much time can we dedicate to working on an episode? Fizz asks, why is action important in a show that to a guy who kills everything in one punch and is depressed about it? Well, clearly that is a question by somebody who doesn't understand anything about the series. But to answer, even if that was the case, action isn't just about what is being done. It's about how it's being done, right? You could take a scene that is mundane and you can make it more dynamic and fantastic and larger than life. Like the scenes of Saitama trying to crush the mosquito in his room in the original manga are
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
quick. They're not very dynamic if you actually go back and look at it. But if you look at how Madhouse decided to execute that, it's like a whole minute and a half long, and they're doing a lot to it. Madhouse
It's
also,
like a paddle.
yeah, and they also have like body language and movements when people are talking. People are almost never standing perfectly still, except for Saitama in that first season, because he was supposed to almost be like a stick figure drawn in. They were trying to emphasize how one drew him in the webcomic compared to everyone else. But like everybody's got
Like
subtle
normal
movements
guy.
that tell off their character, as opposed to say like JC staff. Here, they were a little better about in the previous season, but in this one, they're like genuinely standing still, or they're like have a set motion like a video game character, like they're just an animated GIF on the screen.
Yeah, just the same frames over and over. But yeah, I was admittedly, even though I was complaining about the complainers, I was a bit struck by the still scenes. I mean, just a lot of scenes where no mouth movement, no body movement. It was just literally a still image.
It probably
When they
didn't
were
help
doing
after like 5 shots in a row that they were doing that, and then I pointed it out because like I was noticing it too.
Yeah. Which is a bit of a shame. I mean, it could get better, question mark, maybe, as the season goes on, but
yeah, well, even if you have like an average budget,
time,
they might just be saving that for specific spots. So like basically you're scalping some of the budget from one episode and moving it over to another one.
Yeah. It was smart, I thought, for the director to basically lower expectations beforehand.
Yeah.
Because he went out there and was basically like, yeah, we did our best. You
Yeah.
know, don't take it out on the staff. We just had a very low budget, so don't expect it to be anywhere near season 1.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's good episodes, I guess people will be pleasantly surprised. But what happened again? Garo's
Well, there's
recovering?
also, man, there's some cut too, like some give and take. Because I like the fact that the line art in this season is more dynamic than it was before, which matches the manga a bit more. But they're also using that as a shortcut to kind of almost like flash animate the characters in Spot. So it's like, it's cool that it looks more like the panels of the manga, but then it just looks like it's an animated comic at times, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like, comic historian or whatever it's called, where you just show pictures of the comic.
Mm-hmm.
Walk through it. But there was a funny episode or a funny scene when, who was it? The Blizzard lady?
Oh, Fabuki. Which is,
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember her.
in-
Hellish Blizzard is what they call her, yeah.
She's trying to figure out why King didn't show up when they called all of the Class S
Yeah.
heroes and Genos, who actually is Class A, right? Didn't show up. Or no, it was Bang who's
Bang was
S
just
class who didn't
Yeah.
show up, and he was like, "It hurt my back," and then she's just astonished that
Well,
all of
Genos
these-
was called to a previous meeting, too. He's on, like, the watch list. Because he's rising up really fast.
but he would have to beat he would have to outrank that guy, the Mask, what's his name again, something or other Mask,
Yeah.
who refuses to move up.
Yeah, he's like the
head
gatekeeper.
of the number 1 ranked A class. If he doesn't move up, no one else can. So
Yeah.
outrun. But yeah, it was it's a comedy. I thought there were some funny scenes. She walks in, sees there's all these, 2 S class and an A hanging out with Saitama playing video games.
Oh,
And
yeah.
addressing the impending disaster.
No, there was stuff
Yeah,
with
it'd be nice
Garu and
to have
Metal Knight and stuff over at the Hero Organization and a bunch of different things. Or not the Monster Organization.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I guess the poor animation makes it a little bit less memorable.
I mean, I kind of remember everything. It's just, it was also something where not a lot happened. And I knew not a lot was going to happen because we were getting thrown right into a very heavy dialogue section in between action.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll withhold judgment then until we get to some more.
Oh no, I'm judging it. I'm not withholding. I'm going to actively judge it the entire time we're watching it. Hopefully it gets better.
That's fine.
Yep. But that's also partially because, like, I like to withhold judgment where I don't know where a story's going. Right? But I know where One Punch Man is going. Yeah, I'm ahead of the show. So I get to judge the animation because that's the only thing I don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah. Well.
Yep.
We'll find out every Sunday.
I like what Buck said, just because I agree with it. It was to the earlier part where Flit was talking about having the power of hate on the side. He says, if the Dragon Ball community taught me anything, it's that the secret to a long-lived series is hate and a lack of reading comprehension. Only in your fan base, not in the creator.
Yeah.
Because if there's one thing that's true about Dragon Ball fans is that they do not read or watch the thing they're a fan of.
Yeah. Well, speaking of fans hating things, did you see the stuff about The Witcher?
No, I've not tuned into anything about The Witcher or paid attention to anyone talking about it.
Yeah. Well, I liked the first season.
Yeah?
Yeah, I actually watched a Nerdrotic video about it where he pointed out that Geralt is in only like 20% of the second season and like 15% of the screen time of season 3. So,
Oh, even less. Wow.
unfortunately, it was.
Which I guess maybe that
Yeah.
one's fitting because they changed him. So they're like, yeah, maybe people will notice less if
Yes.
he has even less screen time.
They
Oh, wait, no, or it's the new
no, they
one.
changed him in season 4.
Okay, I thought that. I forgot that there
Yeah.
even was a season 3.
But yeah, me too.
Yeah. I thought this was season 3 that just.
Yeah, no,
came
that
out,
was still. No. I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, I guess it'll be even less because it's the Yennefer and what's her name, Siri or whatever.
Mm-hmm. In Siri.
Siri show now. Which I get, yeah, it might be good because I don't think this is a very good Geralt, unfortunately. Oh well.
I mean, maybe he would have if he was it from the beginning. I have nothing against Hemsworth. I think he's a fine actor. It's just not what you're going to be used to. But also, I think the worst part is the only reason season 1 was good is because Cavill was a fan. He was yelling at everybody to make it better the whole time. They kept taking more and more power away from him as it went along. And so it's the fact that they don't have anybody fighting against the writing and directing staff is what's going to make the show worse.
Yeah, I don't plan on watching it at all.
Yeah.
Like you said, I barely remember. I don't remember season 3 or.
I don't think I watched 3.
I barely remember any of it.
I forgot that 3 was a thing. I think, if I recall, I probably made the decision that since they were replacing him, I wasn't even going to bother to watch 3.
Yeah.
I don't remember if that was the case, but I think that was my decision.
Yeah. It was like 83% other less interesting characters.
Yeah. It's like, why can't you just follow the fucking books?
Exactly. They have the books, they have the games, all good. Like,
How hard
the easiest thing in the world
is it to follow the source material? It's right there. It's a roadmap. You don't even have to be creative outside of like the actual visual element.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if some of the dialogue needs a little bit of tweaking, that's fine. But like, at least follow the story of the books, and follow the main character.
Yeah. Like, I understand
Oh, well.
if you're doing a scene and there's just not enough dialogue in the book to fill a scene, so you have to create it. That's understandable. You are in a different medium. You're doing a screenplay instead. But, like, the pacing, the roadmap, the scene for scene, it's all right there. Maybe you don't have enough time to cover every scene. You could be a little choosy about the ones you cut out, but you should just follow the order things happen.
Well, they're not doing that with this. I'm always shocked when the actual creator of an IP just like gives up all control. It's like, here, fuck it up. I don't care.
To be fair, he just really likes money.
It's a certain. Yeah. But I mean, you could hold out and be like, yeah, someone will offer me the money and actual respect for my work.
Yeah. But to be fair, like, the funniest things about this guy, he's gone back and the only time he's ever complained about how somebody did something was when it was an excuse to try to get more money out of him. Where he's like, I don't like how you did it, so I want to renegotiate my contract so I get more money because I noticed that you got a lot more money from this than what was initially expected.
Yeah. Well, they're going to be getting a lot less now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's happy about that. It's like,
like,
hey,
hey,
I got mine.
It's another project that'll kill itself off, and then I'll just license to somebody else in 10 years.
Yeah. Maybe. He's brilliant.
Yeah. You can make a lot of money
At least,
if you just don't give a shit about the stuff that you make. Like, you have to have passion in making it, but not giving a shit about how other people use it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and everybody understands if he wrote another book, it wouldn't be from Netflix. It would be from him. And if they, did another game, it would be a different team. So it's like, it's not like it's destroying the IP or anything.
Oh, yeah, and I don't think he has any desire.
Perfectly valid.
You know, like, he closed that book, turned the last page. It's like, whatever. No desire to go back to that. It's an IP. It's a money printing machine at this point. Like, I don't have to even touch it.
I guess so. Oh well.
And it had such a good ending
Well, you wanna
originally,
talk
where it
about
was
the-
kind of just like a what if. Like, I'm leaving the characters into the future, and you can kind of decide what happens to them afterwards. Which I think, for especially a fantasy setting, that is the best way to end your story. Like, close out the major arc, kill the big boss or whatever you're doing, and then just kind of leave it to the imaginations of everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So, Ranma,
Well,
I guess. That would be the next thing for us to talk about.
Rama was a thing again.
It will continue to be. This time, we get the return of Shampoo, the Chinese Amazon who believes that she is to wed Ranma. And she comes back in the form of a cat, which is very unfortunate for her because Ranma hates cats. He's afraid of them, scared to death.
I know, the absolute worst thing that she could turn into, thanks to training once again among the cursed pools.
That's like the funniest running joke is that everybody goes there to train to get better. Nobody ever gets better from training there. They just all fall into a pool and get cursed. You'd think like people would stop training here, but they don't. It just continues to keep happening.
And this time right in front of her father.
Yes.
And
my daughter's
thanks
a
to her
cat.
grandmother.
But your grandmother's like, what? She's over 100. Right. So you'd think if anybody knew about the actual risk of the cursed pools, it would be Cologne. That's her name. I don't think they've said it in the show yet, but her name is Cologne. To go with the naming convention of Shampoo and the other boy from their area is Moose, so it's all like hair and beauty products. But
you would think that the grandmother would be more likely to fall in one of the pools too.
no, absolutely not. Have you seen this lady? She is a martial arts master. Yeah. She's not falling in any pool. But no, I bet she fully knew well. But this is just, this Amazon pride and honor. It's like, yes, we're going to train here, and you're going to get better whether you like it or not. And then she fell into a pool. It's like, well, that's your fault for falling into the pool. You've been dishonored.
Yeah, skill issue.
Oh, when we get to Moose, thoughts on his dub voice? Because that's actually pretty much where we're going to next. Because after they return and Cologne, who I like Cologne's voice, but I'm kind of getting tired of Cologne's voice. Because she's the de facto old lady in every Netflix dub. She was the Turbo Granny in Dan to Dan. She was the massage doctor for the assassins, like the acupressure doctor in Sakamoto Days. Great voice. She's fitting. I get why she's typecasted for those characters. It's just like, I just heard you very, very recently. And one of the things I was appreciating about Netflix is that I wasn't hearing the same voices everywhere. I don't want to fall into a new Funimation trap, right? But great, she does your job. She sounds exactly like an old lady that you'd want her to. It's got that Genkai Frieza sound to it that you expect, right? And she's fine. Moose, though, the first time I heard his voice, I wasn't happy with it. Because I was only getting his, like, serious man voice. But there's times that he broke, and he sounded more like the boy that he is. Like, he broke his composure. And I think that's a fine element to add into the character. It does make him line up with the Japanese voice a lot more often. Because there were times in the original dub where the Japanese voice broke into that higher pitch, kind of like a nerdy thing. But it was Brad Swell in English that made Moose kind of sound dorky all the time. That was something he did. So there was times where he lined up, times where he didn't. And all the voices, they're trying to line up a bit more with the Japanese voices this time around. So
yeah,
I think overall Moose's voice is better. It fits the character more. I'm just really, really fixed on Brad Swale's voice for Moose. Like, I don't know if that will ever not be the voice in my head for him. Because he was just so emotional and dynamic with everything he said.
Yeah, and those glasses, they're crazy.
Yeah.
They look like, joke glasses. They're like all swirly. You can't even see his eyes. Except like in one scene when they kind of zoomed in on him, it's like, oh, yeah, they're just really thick glass.
Yeah, and they do that a lot. That's kind of a visual trope that I think even predates Rumiko drawing characters like that, where if you want to give somebody like dorky glasses, you give them the Dizzy dial, right? And the implication is that they are so thick, they're basically like grandpa glasses, that he is functionally blind if he doesn't have them on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he keeps... What is the mistakes that he keeps making? Like, he just keeps missing...
Oh, like everything? But one of the big ones is that he keeps thinking people who aren't shampoo are shampoo. Like, he hugged...
Oh, yeah.
Ranma at one point. He hugged Akane at one point. He hugged, like, a lamppost. You know, he can't tell what he's looking at. He'll talk to the wrong person. Or it was like he was talking to a Lucky Cat or something when he was talking to Cologne, and she's like, "I'm over here."
Yeah.
And this is very much like,
I was trying to figure...
I want to say an artifact of this series coming out in the late 80s, where contacts were newer and harder to come by. So it wouldn't be like a practical thing for somebody, especially if you lived in an old village out in the middle of China. Nobody out, like, it was probably hard enough for him to get a glasses prescription, let alone contacts. And then now, even in Japan, even going to like Tokyo, it's like this is the late 80s. Moose isn't going to be able to get contacts, so he just has to deal with these glasses.
Yeah. So in the original, did he have kind of a higher, younger voice
Oh yeah, yeah.
in English? So they gave him more of was it Kane? No, what's his name? The guy from the
Kuno?
first season, from like the first.
Tatawaki Kuno.
Yeah, kind of gave him more of that kind of voice,
Yeah, yeah.
which
Kuno's supposed to have.
kind of makes it. Yeah, kind of means it's like less variety. Like it's kind of the same character.
Well, his voice isn't as deep as Kuno's. Like Kuno's voice is much deeper. Actually, his voice is closer in range to how Kuno's was in the first adaptation stub. But he does fluctuate. There's times where he kind of high pitched, but how would like Moose's voice? He was kind of a bit more like this, Ranma Sawatome, and he would crack a lot. Shampoo, like that. That's kind of how he would talk. He would whine and everything. I can't do a good Brad Swale, but that's kind of like the range in which he was.
See that reminds me more of that dorky guy with all the voodoo dolls who had to
Gosukiki?
try and discover Ranma. Yeah, try and discover Ranma's weakness.
Is it ever explained why Moose doesn't wear his glasses all the time? He thinks he looks better without his glasses. I think they mentioned that. Yeah, I don't remember if that was something that was mentioned in the manga later on, or if that was something that Rumiko answered in like a Q&A. But it's because he's a pretty handsome boy, all things considered. Like the way he's drawn, he's supposed to be, but he looks like a dork with his glasses. Mm-hmm. And he thinks that like if he's not wearing his glasses, maybe Shampoo will like him, even though that has absolutely nothing to do with why Shampoo wants to marry somebody or not. It's because he lost a fight to her when they were kids, and you have to beat an Amazon in a fight to be able to marry them. And apparently with their customs, you only get the one chance.
Yeah, there were 3, right?
Yeah.
3 years old.
But the problem
That's
is, like,
not
you only
fair,
get the one
right?
chance. But, well, I guess technically Ranma beat her both times that they fought, so it doesn't matter which chance you count. Even if you count him as a guy or a girl. It's like, technically he beat her twice.
Yeah. Yeah, why is the requirement that she marry him seemingly overriding the requirement that she kill?
I think it's because they discovered that Ranma's true form is the guy, so that's the one that matters. They kind of just dropped that. That's never actually explained anywhere in the story. It's just like, he's a good fighter, so we're required to marry good fighters, and he beat me in a fight at some point. So, and she actually kind of likes him. Not just that, like, Ranma's a handsome boy. So she's like, cool, handsome boy beat me in a fight. I've got a target. I'm going to marry him now. That's pretty much just the mindset. She's husband catching. She's trying to trap him, you know?
And the grandmother is on the same wavelength.
Oh, yeah, well, after 3,000 years of Chinese Amazon tradition, she's not going to let that slide.
Yeah.
Also implies Shampoo's father must be at least quite the fighter, because she beat Shampoo's mother, or he beat Shampoo's mother at some point in time in the past.
Where's her mother?
Not in the picture. I don't even remember what happened to her. I don't know if she passed away or whatever. If she's just still back at the village. I don't think it's ever explained. I don't remember her being in the manga. Maybe she was, and I forgot because she just looks like all the other Chinese Amazon women. The father stands out because he's a dude. And this is like one of 3 scenes we ever see him in the entire series, more or less. Unless they decide to show him in the background at the Cat Cafe more often, because technically he works there. He did come to China with them. Original adaptation cut that out altogether. But you'll see him here. You'll see him at the showdown with Ranma and Moose, which is how this episode ended with... well, right before the ending was a man-to-man promise. And then after they made a man-to-man promise, Ranma gets splashed with cold water, becomes a woman, and finds out that earlier in the episode there was like a pressure point that was put that made his entire skin as sensitive as a cat's tongue, so he can't touch hot water anymore for the time being and can't turn back into a guy, which is pretty much the arc.
Cologne, she did that.
Yes, with her like staff or walking stick, she like stabbed him right in the solar plexus. So now he's stuck as a girl and has to go show up to a man-to-man duel, and Moose doesn't know that Ranma has this like curse or anything like that. And right now, most of the town doesn't know either. No, you know, like it's kind of just been this weirdly kept secret that people aren't paying attention to yet, and which is cool for Ranma because he doesn't really want most people to know. So yeah, that's the complication we're left in. So he'll be at the showdown. You'll pay attention to the background. I hope they adapt the panels like they have been. We will see Shampoo's father there. And then in the manga, there's like one other time when they go to the ramen shop that they run where you see him like working the kitchen or whatever. So it would be really cool if they just manually decided themselves to just have him in the background of that shop anytime they show up sometimes, just to work him in more. Because realistically, he should be there all the time. So.
Yeah. But, you know, he's working. You don't notice people when you're having conversations or whatever, and people in the background. So I thought the beginning was really funny because at the end of the previous episode, he turns into a cat, and not realizing it, he ends up kissing Akane as a cat.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's him. He doesn't actually turn into a cat.
He just thinks he's a
acting
cat.
like
Yeah.
him. Yeah, and he doesn't remember any of that. And like that triggers like everyone. Not just Akane, but it's funny because like everyone knew that they were engaged. I mean, most people did.
It was only
But like as soon as they
initial shock, right? Because in the previous adaptation, they played it up a little bit more, like longer before they calmed down about it. Like all the actors like, oh my God, well, I mean, I guess they're engaged. In this one, it's just more like they freak out initially and they're like, well, they are fiancés. Maybe this is the first time they kiss, but they were all like really nonchalant about it after 5 seconds.
Yeah, but before that,
Yeah.
they all come to Ranma and like he gets beat up by like 500 people.
Oh no, I was just talking about the kids at the scene. Now, all of the people who like Akane are really, really mad at Ranma.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, which is Kuno, Ryoga found out from Gozukuki, who was there because the guy's a little creep just hiding in the floorboards and stuff all the time.
Yeah, that's a scene where he's like, I don't want to tell you because of this. And he pulls up the floorboard and the cat's like right there. Good.
Which, again, I'm so glad that he's there because he's supposed to be there. In the previous adaptation, it was just a small little ninja that worked for the Kunos, but he was still in all the spots that Gosukuki was supposed to be in. Like every time, if they like pulled somebody out of the floorboards, it was Sasuke for some reason, or any of those things. It was always him there, also taking pictures. But the way they excused it in the adaptation is that he was taking the pictures of Akane and the pigtail girl for Kuno, right? Which makes logical sense if you're his butler, and Kuno would definitely like those things. But it's like, but somebody else was taking those pictures in the manga for his own personal reasons. Why did you change it, Studio Dean? Why did you add your OC in there? Which, and you can understand with that, why I was so cautious about the, what's the name of the town they're in? It starts with an N, but their high school, like radio club characters that they added. I was worried they would show up more often. So far, they haven't even showed up at all this season and take over anybody else's role. If I expect them to show up at all, maybe they'll be announcing at Moose versus Ranma's duel, right? Like, that's maybe the next time. They have not gone very forceful on their OCs like other studios have.
They go to Furinken.
Furinken. I remember there was an N in it. It was Furinken High. Yeah.
2 N.
Yeah.
So there's a funny thing on Reddit saying episode 2 will introduce a brand new character. So that's that guy.
Well, to this series so far, Moose would be a brand new character, but so would Cologne.
Oh.
Compared to what we've seen so far.
It says Ichiro, a broadcaster at Furinken.
Oh, no, you're talking about episode 2 of the first season. Yes, Ichiro
the first season.
Was, and his little club were a original character to this adaptation. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Split's been enjoying Gosuke. I like him. I think he's a fun character. I didn't like the fact that I had to wait till season 4 for him to show up in the original adaptation and deal with Sasuke the entire time. Gosuke's a way better character than Gosunkiki. Or as they said in the original dub, Gosunkugi. If it's easier to say that, you can, but it's you pronounce the first U. It is an extended U slightly. The second one is just more of a k sound, so it's Gosunkugi.
Oh, that's why they kept. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I heard them. They kept saying Gosunkugi, and I kept thinking of cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I really want a cookie.
And it's actually like a gi at the end, but there's hardly a difference between the k and g sound in Japanese. They're actually often written with the same characters. Like if there's a k or a g, it's the same character, and contextually, you know whether it should be the harder or softer sound.
Mm-hmm. Cookie.
Gosunkugi. Because they overpronounced everything. The character they replaced with him in the English dub, they called Sasuke. Obviously, he was named after the famous kind of like fable ninja Sasuke. But they pronounced it Sasuke, which kind of made it funnier because he was a goofy ninja that was bad at his job. So maybe that wasn't the worst bastardization of a Japanese name. But, you know.
So who is he? The guy who has like the candles on his head?
Yes, that's a Gosukuki. Is the guy with the candles, and he looks very emaciated. Like his cheeks are sunken in from how skinny he is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stabbing the voodoo doll. You idiot! You moron! You idiot! You moron!
But that's more or less what happened in the episode. It's like Ryoga showed up just to beat up Ranma, and then like basically disappeared.
Yeah.
I mean, P-chan was in a couple shots if you pay attention, but that's about it. He just Ryoga'd again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just like you said, he just showed up to beat him up for a minute.
Happens a couple times.
Anyway, I was very amused by the beginning, so I like that episode. Oh, and there was quite a bit of like I felt like more nudity than usual, which was amusing.
Maybe, I don't know. It seemed like the same amount to me, but it's where it was in the manga.
Well, yeah. Shampoo just kept jumping in the tub with, or trying to get with Ranma.
Well, much like Ryoga and anybody who becomes a small animal, they're too small and they lose their clothes when they transform because they just kind of like sink over it. Genma often doesn't lose his clothes. He just ends up like stripping off. There'll be a lot of times where you'll see the panda like right after he changed, and his gi will just be hanging off of the panda, too small to fit on him. Maybe he goes through pants.
Yeah.
Like, he would just tear his pants most of the time. He probably just has a lot of gi pants. Or there'll be scenes where also his glasses will just be hanging from one of the panda's ears because they don't fit on him anymore.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, pretty funny.
But Genma also seems to just have tons of clothes hidden in a pocket or like hammer space, because anytime he changes back, he's always in something.
Yeah. Of course, he's always prepared.
Yeah. Do you know this is where the term
Oh,
hammerspace comes from?
No.
No, from early
Why?
internet forums. And it's because Akane would often just pull a hammer out of nowhere to hit Ranma with, right? And a lot of people mistakenly think it refers to Amy Rose from Sonic the Hedgehog. But even on the internet forums, it was talking about Akane, and Akane did it first as well. She's older than Amy Rose's existence. So Hammerspace is the place where Akane just magically pulls a hammer out of. And now people use it for all kinds of things. It's like, oh, that's the inventory in an RPG is a hammer space. That's why people could just hold tons of tents on them or a whole cottage.
Yeah. Do you think they're like directly influenced by Ranma?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like
people
Amy
don't
Rose
understand. Like in Japan, Takahashi's work is some of the most referenced work, and the animation industry as well, even outside of Japan. It's just a lot of regular viewers didn't know about her stuff before maybe Inuyasha because it just didn't get localized here well. Like Ranma, you had to buy on VHS. It was never aired anywhere, partially because of the nudity, and we're in America. But her stuff is super influential. There's a lum right in the center of like the animation district in downtown like Shibuya. Like there's just a lum there, a bronze statue of her life size that you can get your picture taken in front of from Urusei Yatsura.
Really?
Yeah.
It was Roxy Richter from Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, she had some influence.
Reference.
Yeah.
Basically.
But she had influence from several different things.
Yeah. She definitely had a hammer somewhere.
No, it was Roxy didn't pull out the hammer. It was Ramona.
Oh, right.
Ramona pulled out the hammer.
Roxy had that whip thing.
Yeah. But she only had the whip thing in the movie. In the graphic novel, she just had katana.
Yeah, sword or something, right? Yeah.
Well, it wasn't even a real katana. It was like one of those
And the
straight
mask.
mall ninja swords that are, similar to like what's his name? Leonardo. Where it's not curved or anything. It's like the type of fake katana you buy at a mall. Which there are a couple of those historically. They did exist. The police carried straight swords that were similar to katana during the Meiji Restoration in Japan. It's like the only time that sword was actually kind of known. Maybe if you go far enough back, those were more common. But that's like the only recorded time. Just some random sword knowledge for you.
Ninjago. Isn't that like the Lego characters?
No, it's a kind of a newer name for that mall ninja sword, because technically even ninjas didn't use them. Yeah. But yes, there was a Lego show called Ninjago. Like, yeah. Yep. I guess we did also watch Spy Family. I don't know if you want to talk about that at all, since we're near the end or past the end. You can. I'm fine to go.
We could talk about 2 episodes next
Okay.
week.
Yeah, if we want. I did want to. We don't have to talk about these. I just want to mention them because they're funny. We got 2 announcements. So as we go, announcement number 1 is that just after the what's it called? Zelda movie comes out in 2027. There will be a Minecraft movie too. They have announced and confirmed that there will be a sequel to the Minecraft movie. So, have fun with that. And number 2 of these announcements, Mortal Kombat 3 has entered development at New Line Studio.
Has Mortal Kombat 2 come out yet?
No. It's on its way. They've put up a lot of features and stuff. I think we got a picture of Baraka earlier today. We got to see what he's going to look like in it, which is cool that Baraka's going to be in it. I've seen the picture. They did a great job at making his mouth look like Baraka's mouth. I thought that was going to be where they slip up the most. But I guess it's pre-development, right? When they say it's in development, it's pre-production. But they've already confirmed that 3 is happening before 2 even comes out because they expect 2 to do well enough.
Yeah. Well, they did a pretty good job with that girl's mouth who looks kind of like his, like who's has the big, gigantic open, with all the teeth.
Oh,
all the fangs or whatever that she had.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Is it Melina? Oh, even Flit said the same thing too.
Maybe.
And Fizzozo.
Yeah.
I don't remember because
but
I don't remember anything about the first movie other than that I didn't like the main character, so it made me want to memory hole it.
It was Melina. Yeah, what's Johnny Cage gonna look like? It looked like they were gonna.
I think we've already seen pictures of Johnny Cage. That was like the first guy that they showed pictures of. Yeah.
Are Melina and Baraka related?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think she is. But it's been a really long time since I was into like Mortal Kombat lore, so there's a lot of it that I forget. I used to be a borderline Mortal Kombat lore expert during the time of Armageddon, and then after Mortal Kombat, it's a clone of Katana. That makes sense. After Armageddon, I got so disconnected from it, I forgot most of the things I used to know. And I'll even like forget characters' relations to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
asks,
Melina was.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, Melina was a clone of Katana created by Shang Tsung.
Yeah, we didn't establish the Sung Shun part, but we did say that she was a clone of Katana.
Yeah. And while he is, I guess, a whole other species, apparently there has been talk of them being a good match.
I don't really care about that. I'm not going to go ship monsters together. But
2 porcupines. Yeah. I don't know. They'd end up biting each other to death or something.
Yeah. But Flit was asking, didn't they try to justify the Maul Katana as legit by calling it a Shinobi Katana? Maybe they have. As far as I know, the only time in recent history that there is a flat sword similar to a katana, it is what the police carried around during the Meiji Restoration, all the way through like the Taisho era. So I guess they're wrong, because if you were a shinobi, you'd want the finest sword in the land. You wouldn't want like a police sword. So that's But maybe they had flat one-sided swords like that the furthest back that you go before they were like recording things, just because it was easier to make a flat sword before they got the more complicated things. Mm-hmm. That's possible. We just don't really have recordings of that stuff because Japan didn't have a writing system until it was introduced to them by Buddhist monks. They told everything orally and through ink paintings before that. Writing in Japan is very, very new, and that's why even it's been around for like hundreds of years at this point, but that's why it's so confusing. Even local Japanese people have problem with their writing system, right? The reason people write in like katakana is because they don't want to write in kanji. Like hiragana and katakana both started as 2 different shorthands for kanji over time.
Yeah, you'd think that, it always seems like they're doing kanji with a paintbrush.
Yeah,
like
that's how they started.
See them in school, like practicing. In anime, anyway. I was just gonna say they should call that sword the Yasuke because it's fake.
Oh yeah. Well, technically Yasuke was a real person. Right, it's just the way they're using him is completely fake. There's documentations that he existed.
Not a real samurai.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, those swords exist. They're just fakes.
Yeah. They were police swords. I'm sure they even had a name for it. And it's probably, they would probably put like ka at the end or ken, right? Because that ken means to strike or anything with the hands, grasp, punch, whatever. But probably ka because a lot of things have ka, like, or maybe even na. They might put like an na at the end, whatever. But you would want to take the word for police and then add some suffix to the end, and that would be the name of the sword. Because it was used by the police forces of that time. That was the actual use of that flat blade.
Right.
I don't know the Japanese word for police off the top of my head, so I can't come up with that.
Police-kun.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But anyway, we're over time. Was enjoying the conversation, but yeah, Mortal Kombat 3 has been announced. Yeah. That's where we're going to end the show on. Maybe I don't know if I'm even interested in watching Mortal Kombat 2. I didn't like the first one. But maybe I'll watch it anyway. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I liked everything about it except the main character. What does that say?
Well, that was the thing. I hated the main character so much I wanted to memory hole the movie.
So, you know, because there's not enough characters in Mortal Kombat that they could have just picked one to be the lead.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Like at this point, there's as many characters in Mortal Kombat as the original roster of Pokemon.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Something along those lines.
Yeah. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We'll be back around for Game Central Junction, same time on Thursday. I'll probably be streaming something game-wise on YouTube tomorrow. And, yeah, if you guys enjoyed it, you can always give a kickback to us at streamlabs.com/vomitoriumlive. Really helps us out. Not necessary, but appreciated. And we'll see you guys then.
Bye.